The days that followed the reforging of the Pact were filled with a fragile hope that seemed to breathe new life into Kirinai. The three moons shone with an intensity that had not been seen for centuries, casting their gentle light over the cities, cobblestones, and ancient temples. Yet beneath that calm surface, unseen forces stirred. Hannah felt the ember flame within her pulse with a strange rhythm, like a heartbeat not entirely her own. Each night, the wind carried faint whispers that teased the edges of her mind, voices lost to time but calling her forward. One evening, as the silver light bathed the city in a dreamlike glow, Hannah found herself drawn once more to the temple tower. The air was thick with expectation, the silence almost tangible. She climbed the steps with steady determination, her bare feet kissing the cold stone as the familiar whisper reached her ears, "Remember me." From the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in shifting darkness, eyes shimmering like molten silver iris. She moved with a grace that was both haunting and beautiful, her presence a reminder of the delicate balance they had fought so hard to restore. "The shadow stirs again," Eris said softly, her voice carrying the weight of centuries. "Though sealed, it watches, waiting for the moment to reclaim what was lost." Hannah's gaze met hers, unwavering. "What must we do now?" Eris's expression grew grave. "The Pact was reforged, but it is fragile. The Watcher's air must be strengthened, for the shadow will test their resolve." At that moment, Kale appeared silently beside them, his eyes reflecting the obsidian night. "The path ahead is perilous," he said. "Laya must learn to wield the power within him, to stand against the darkness that threatens to consume all." Together, the three set out to prepare Laya for the trials to come. Their journey took them beyond the familiar borders of Kirinai into realms where reality bent and twisted like a reflection in disturbed water. They trained beneath ancient trees whose leaves sang with forgotten magic, crossed rivers that shimmered with starlight, and faced creatures born of shadow and light intertwined. Laya's spirit was tested, his courage forged in the fires of uncertainty. Hannah watched as the ember within her flared in response to his growing strength, a bond forming between them that transcended words. One night, beneath the endless expanse of the starry sky, Laya faced his greatest trial, a confrontation with the shadow that lurked within himself. It was a battle not of weapons, but of will and truth. He stood before the dark reflection of his fears and doubts, the embodiment of every choice he had ever shied away from. With Hannah and Kale's voices guiding him, he reached inward, embracing his shadow rather than fleeing it. Light and darkness intertwined, not as enemies, but as halves of a greater whole. When the trial ended, Laya stood taller, his eyes shining with newfound clarity and strength. The bond between the three grew stronger, the Pact renewed not just in magic but in spirit. Returning to Kirinai, they prepared for the final confrontation, the moment when the shadow beyond the veil would test their resolve once more. The city held its breath as the moons aligned in a celestial dance, the night alive with tension and hope. Beneath the violet-lit arch, Hannah, Kale, and Laya joined hands, their combined power a beacon against the encroaching darkness. The breach pulsed a living wound in the fabric of their world, but together they wove a tapestry of light and shadow, binding it close with the strength of their unity. The shadow screamed in defiance, its fury met with unwavering resolve. As dawn broke, the breach sealed, the moons shining brighter than ever, casting a protective glow over the city awoke, its people unaware of the battle fought in the silence of the night. Yet Hannah knew their journey was far from over. The ember flame still burned within her, a promise of vigilance, a reminder that as long as shadows exist, the Pact must endure. And so, beneath the ever-watchful moons, their story continued, an eternal dance of light and darkness, memory and hope, forever intertwined.